Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sasha and this is just for you paper crafts. So we have something a little bit different. This isn't a haul, this isn't a tutorial. This is my die cuts series. This is series 1 and I thought long and hard about the title that I was going to give to this series, and I've decided I'm going to call it SNIP Happens. Tell me what you think. So basically what this is the metal dies is showing you what the metal dies are, what they look like once the components have been put together, and the issues that may come with each die. So it's whether it's worth it, whether, you know, if one's a lot of paper piecing, and I'm not a great lover of the paper piecing, I have to admit it. I do sit there and I think, oh geez, this is going to take me forever. Anyway, so that's basically what it is. And so to give you an idea of what they look like once they've been put together, because you can watch videos, you can look at dies and things like that, but when you actually see it, that's when you get to have a really clear idea of what they look like, and also knowing how it all works, how the components go together, because sometimes you have to take a piece apart and you almost have to put a piece back together again to be able to make another piece. That doesn't make any sense, but I'll explain that as we're going along. So I've made a few already. So I'm only kind of going to do about 10 per episode, I think, because one, the amount of time it takes, and I don't want these to be, you know, not like my haul videos. I don't want these to be extremely long videos. So let's get into it. So the first die I have is this one. Okay, so it's just a banner die. I've not taken it apart because there's no point. You can just lay it on one flat piece of card paper, whatever you wish, run it through your machine, and it'll just cut it all out. Okay, so, but what I will say is this top piece here. Now, I've left those pieces in because I wanted to show you how small they are. So if I was to just pop these out like you do, if I can get them out. This one is a bit tricky, I will say. You've almost got to try and talk it into coming out. So there is your banner piece. So let me just bring you in a little bit more. I'm having a real issue with my zoom. My zoom won't seem to work. I noticed this on my other video. My zoom wouldn't work. I don't know what's going on there. Ah, I know why. It's because I was hitting the wrong button. So look how thin that is. I mean, that is so thin. I mean, you try gluing that for a start. But also what comes with this are these tiny little bats. I'm sorry, I don't know about you guys. I have not got the patience for that. I really have not. I mean, look how tiny they are. I mean, they look like specks of dust on my desk. Let's see if you can zoom in. But I mean, it's supposed to be a bat. So I'm not... This one here, the chances are this is never going to happen. I am never going to mess around with these tiny little bats that look like specks of rubbish on my desk. So that's never going to happen for me. However, if you have got the patience to do that, then I take my hat off to you. Okay, so that's that top one. That's why I left those bits in, because I really need you to see how small that was. Here we have kind of the graveyard scene. We have kind of skulls and lotion pot, potion bottles. And here we've got pumpkin kind of theme there. So let me show you what they look like. So this is the graveyard scene. So I cut it out in black. I've got that the wrong way around. I cut it out in black, and I also used some iridescent as well, but they are really, really sweet. But they would look lovely on a little bag topper or something, or just as a hint of a silhouette. So that's this one here. The next one is the skulls and lotion bottles. Those are this here. I mean, they are very, very delicate, but there's a lot of detail in them. And I think they would look great along a bag topper, or you could just layer it up like that, make it a little bit thicker. So you've got a bit more, so it's a bit sturdier, if you like. Which is what I was going to do, but then I decided to show you kind of a silhouette look. So now we've got this one here, which is the pumpkins. And this one here. I think they're really cute. I did like that. I wasn't sure, but I think if it was me, I would be layering them up quite a lot, so I had a bit more stability on them. Or you could just slightly offset it, so you've kind of got this shadow look as well. So that's that die. Now, I will say these dies have either come from AliExpress or Temu. I know I have different types. I have KS Craft ones. I have all sorts. But like, you know, as I always say, if there's a particular die that you like and you can't find it, or you want me to give you the link, I'll be more than happy to have a look for you and get the link for you. So that's that one. So next one, going along on the kind of, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, like if you was to put on a bag topper or something. So this one, we've got the cobweb and the spiders hanging down. Just all one piece, just how I like it. And I did dress this one up a little bit, so I kind of just did a ruffle on the back there and a little bit of vellum ruffle behind, and just placed it on there. So if you could imagine if you was to put that on a bag topper or something, how pretty would that look? And then you've just got the spiders hanging down. But I liked that one. Nice and easy, cut out lovely. I mean, look at the intricate detail as well in that spider web. And it just, and this cardstock is the Cricut, I think everybody's got it, this card that's that shimmers and everything. It's from Cricut, and it's quite tough cardstock. So this cut through it absolutely lovely, so no issues whatsoever. So I was happy with that one. I may actually have a little thing where it's come from. No, this one then possibly could have come from Temu, because what I have noticed is usually AliExpress will give an indicator of what the die is. So that's that one. Next we have, and I think this is a KS Craft die. So this is the Broom, the witch's broom, if you like. So you've got layering pieces here, and you can turn that into a shaker. You've got your broom there, and you've got another piece here. Now, I lost my piece, and I don't know where it went. And I don't even know if I realised I'd cut it out or not, so I never used it. So, because I just cut this all in one piece of each, of everything that I needed, and instead of taking it all apart. But when you're doing your shaker, then obviously you would cut out your main body piece with this bit, and also your acetate, and because you'd need to layer it all up. So that one is there. So let me show you these cute, how cute are these? So the little shakers, as you can see. So there's that one and that one. So they're quite, so just to show you, I did, because I did the broom out of foam as well to give it a bit more stability, because it was kind of chunky here. I didn't want just one piece of paper to be hanging down like that, so I needed a little bit of stability. But you know, that's what the back is looking like. But they're really cute, and they'd look great as embellishments on a project. So that's that one. And then so I did have some bits left, so I just did one flat embellishment, which you could just decorate that up, because I had these bits left over, so I made a flat one. So you've got a choice there. You can have a shaker, or you can just have a flat embellishment, but they're really cute. The next one I have is a witch's hat. I think this one came from AliExpress. So basically you've got your design of your witch's hat, and you can turn this one into a shaker. You've got the belt and buckle piece that would go across there. Nice and simple, not too much paper piecing, which is an absolute delight. So I made two. I made one as a shaker. How cute is that? Do you see my little ghosties in there? So I did mess this one up. That's the back. But this is just to give you an idea of what they can look like. But that would look lovely on an embellishment, or just add some extra pieces on here. And then I just made a flat one, but I made this one out of thin foam, glitter foam that I had, which I quite liked. But that would make a lovely embellishment as well. Look at that sparkle. So there's your witch's hats. And making shakers takes so much time. I'm sure you all know this. But that was a nice easy one. And next we have this little ghosty die. So with this one, again, you can make it into a shaker. So you've got two pieces, you've got the body and everything like that, but you also have this piece. So the faces. So if you can see, you've almost got the scare movie on this one. So you've got the eyes, the mouth, eyes and nose, eyes and mouth. And you've also got another face here. So you can add them onto your ghosts. When I was cutting all mine out, I lost mine. I lost my eyes and my noses and everything, but never mind. So these are what they look like. I mean, how cute are they? So just little shakers, and they're a nice size for an embellishment. So you've got your shakers in there. So you can see he's got little eyes on there. And this one's got different eyes. And because I'd cut out some more foam on this one, I just turned it into a flat embellishment, because I had foam piece, I had a paper piece, and I had the outer piece, so, and I had some wonky eyes, so I thought I'd just turn it into a flat embellishment. But it's quite a chunky flat embellishment, so you wouldn't have to pop this one up on foam dots. You could just sit that, decorate it, and how cute would that look? So you don't have to have everything as a shaker. I just like having shakers. I think they're so cute. But again, that was a nice, easy die to use. That cut out lovely. No issues whatsoever with that one. And some dies you can just all keep together. You don't have to take it all apart. Next we have this little, I'm going to say gingerbread man, but Halloween theme. And jeez, there was a lot of paper piecing. You're going to look at it and go, well, there wasn't that much, Sasha. What are you talking about? Let's get it all out. So, there's his body. And you've got a hat, and on the top there, because you've got his little coat there, so that would go on there like that. These pieces go onto his buttons. His hat goes up there. This tiny little piece here is his eyebrows and his mouth, so that goes on there. These pieces here, you've got this piece that sits on there, and you have this piece that sits there, so you've got those pieces. So this piece, I did cut it out, and it's for his, along his arms and his feet and everything, but I didn't do it in the end because I did actually, that's a lie, I'm looking at it, I did do it, but only on his arms. And then he has a little broom as well. I've still got a piece of paper in that one. Oh, there he is, he's gone. And then he's got his broom. So you've got all these layering pieces. So you've got his hat, and then you've got the piece that goes on his hat. You've got his face, you've got his eyebrows and his mouth. You've got his eyes that go there. Those bits go there. That bit goes on there, and then that goes on there. These go on his arms and legs, and then you've got your broom. So there's a lot of pieces in there. Oh, and you've got another little tiny piece that goes on that goes on his hat. So there are a lot of paper piecing, but it's worth it when it goes put together, and I will show you. Teddy. So I don't know if you remember, a couple of videos ago I was telling you that I think I had something living under my craft room. Well, last week, before Teddy got really poorly, we went out for a walk, and as we came back I thought, I'm going to have an investigation here. So round the back we crawled in underneath the undergrowth and everything else like that. Teddy thought it was wonderful, and I think I found, now it was quite a big hole, so it's either for a badger or possibly rabbits. I've just this second thought rabbits, but I was thinking maybe it's a badger set or something. But I think that's what I've got living under my craft room. So anyway, gingerbread man. So this is what he looks like. I only did one because of the paper piecing, but how cute is he? Look how cute he is. So he's got his little witch's hat on. So there's the paper piecing, and then there is his eyebrows, his eyes, his little jacket, then his buttons had to go on, then his little collar had to go on, then there was his broom and his broom bristles and his little wiggly bits there. But he's quite a nice size as well. He is a nice size. That's... Why do the backs always look so terrible? Look at that. Good job we stick these things down. But to be fair, if I was making this for somebody or something like that, then I wouldn't have had it look like that at all. But as it was just for show, I wanted you to see it in its glory. But how cute is that? So he's quite a sweetie, that one. I like him. I liked how he turned out. Next we have words. I love shadow words. I like making them. I enjoy making them. So I have 5 here. And the problem with shadow words, if you was to look at this, if I came on now and said, oh, and I bought all of these shadow words, and would any of you be able to know what they say? Because I certainly wouldn't. Anyway, so that one's candy, and that one is boo, spider, haunted, and potion. So you get all of these, and then you got your shadow bits to go with them. So that one would, if I was to do them the right way round, they would sit in like that. So that's your shadow words. Lovely. I love this die. However, if your card is a bit too thick, it won't cut. So I found that I was using different types of card to be able to cut it through. It cut through my foam okay, but certain thickness of cards, it did struggle with it. And even when I put my metal shim on my plates to run through my big shot, it still struggled. So kind of almost got to be have a play with it, but they are lovely. So you do get your 5 shadow words. So I started off, I got in a bundle of, I made loads of them. I did make loads. So I kind of did, I did foam ones, so you had that nice thickness, so you're not having to pop them up on pop dots or foam backings and things like that. So you could just lay it down flat, and you've just got a nice raised area there, and decorate it as you're going. So this one we've got spider. And this one we got boo, potion, haunted, candy. And then I just made another bundle. So I did them in this glitter paper and that green holographic cricket paper card. So they turned out lovely. Oh. So you got these ones. But I love the green. I love how this green turned out against the sparkly black. So pretty. And then I did a matte black with the orange colour. So you got the haunted, candy, spider, potion, and boo. So I did all of those because you can never have enough of these type of things, of your letterings. So put all of these let me put all of these back in so I'm not losing them. So next we have, so I did a doily. I've got these little doily dies. Nice, easy, simple. You've got 4 dies. That's that design. is that one, and that one. And these would be great if you were to make some medallions or something like that. So I just cut out a bundle of them because at some point I probably will use them. So I did some in plain pink paper, and that's how they look. And they're not very big, but they're enough for to be able to do a embellishment of sorts, or just to add it to an embellishment, or add it to a rosette or something like that. And then the others I just did in pattern paper, as you can see. So, and I cut out an abundance of these, nice and easy. So that's what you get there. But that cut through, lovely, no hassle. And in things like this, you can just keep cutting out, and because you'll use them, you'll always add them for something. They make great little embellishments. Try and get this back in. Next we have, oh, so I really did mess up on this one. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you because I'm sure I can't be the only one that cuts out all their pieces of paper, puts everything together, and then looks at it and goes, oh, that's wrong. Then has to go onto the internet, yes, I did, to find out where I went wrong. So this is your toffee apple, as we would call it, or your candy apple. So these are your pieces. So there's the main body, which is your apple. Then you've got your drippy bit there. And then you've got another layering piece in there. And then you've got a bow, and you've got your toffee apple or candy apple stick. Am I in frame there? Let's bring it down a bit. So there's your toffee apple, and then your little bow would just sit up on there, just like that. Let me just move my camera slightly. So this is how it looks. How cute is that? So I put a little, I had these sequins, so I put a little witch on a broom in the middle of the bow. I got a little spider on there because I use the Frank Garcia Halloween paper collection. I think it was the 31 collection or Lunar, I can't remember. And I liked the spider web, so I put spider there. And there's my shaker pieces in there. And that's the back. So that's what you can see. And I did a lot of layering as well on this apple. I think I did 4 layers, so it was nice and sturdy. And the same with the stick. I think I did 3 or 4 layers on there, so it was nice and sturdy. Because even though you've got this nice chunky piece here, if you only do one, it's going to be quite flimsy. So I did layer it up quite a lot, so it was a nice solid embellishment. So this is where I went wrong. So this is how it should look. That's how it shouldn't. I had put my stick the wrong way round. So I'm eating my toffee apple like this. And I was looking at it and I'm thinking there's something not right about this. And I literally had to go on the internet and try and find a picture or go back. And this die I know is from AliExpress because I had to go back, try and find it to see where I'd gone wrong because I knew it didn't look right. So there we go. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just not how it should be. That's there it is there. So My stick was down here, and I couldn't take it apart either because I'd layered it and put that, and I did try, and I thought, no, I'm just going to damage it even more. So, but anyway, that being said, this one, again, the Frank Garcia paper, I had a little bat sequin, so I put a bat there, and I did put a bat in the middle of the bow there, which I thought looked really cute. And again, this one is a shaker. You see all my little ghosties in there. How cute are they? So that is the toffee apple, candy apple, however you'd like to say it. But yeah, easy. So let me just talk to you about something. So obviously this piece here, right? This is your main body here. Easy. Your bow, easy. And again, with the bow, I did do a couple of layers, so it was quite sturdy. And your stick, easy, just one piece, not a problem. So here comes these pieces. So you have to break these apart, okay? Because you need this body piece for your acetate, and this piece you then need to put it back in and line it up. And what I do is, once I'd lined it up, I did put a bit of tape over it so it was in place, because then that's what cuts out this piece here, and also your foam piece as well. So if you're ever doing a shaker and it's like that, and you take it all apart and you're thinking, how can I do it? You have to put a piece back in, and it is just a case of layering it up and then just taping it down. So a little tip there for you. Teddy's barking at something. I've no idea what. Waking up the neighbours. It's dark here now, so I'm hoping my lights don't flicker. What have we got next? So this die, it's just one piece, and it's got some words in here. So you've got hocus pocus, crew, trick or treat, boo, and I've got the letters here. I'd have to have a look, actually. Ghoul and something else, but we'll have a look. And then you've got a banner, flag banner piece there. You've got some little ghosties, you've got some little bats, you've got some little stars. I didn't pop them out, as you can see. But you get quite a nice collection on this little die set. I haven't taken it apart. I can't see the point. Just keep running it through different papers, and you'll still put it all back together at some point somewhere and layer it all up. So I just keep it all in one piece. So the banner piece, which is here, so I cut this out. I did layer it on thin foam. So I did the back piece, thin foam in between, and then I cut another piece, and then I just cut off this trim. So it gave me just that sharp edge. So you can still see the glitter behind, but I cut it there. And I just added the word ghoul, which comes from this collection, that little bat that I showed you on there, and I did just add a little spider on there. So you could make a load of these, and these are great for embellishments and things like that, just even to put behind something and just build it up with different embellishments. So that was that piece there. And these are the words. So these words, they're not shadow words, and they're not thick words either. Let me move this out of the way. Oh, dear me. Right. So, I have layered some, and some I have not. And this glitter paper is actually self-adhesive. So if I was to pull off that back, it would just kind of sit there. So we've got Hocus Pocus. We've got Friends, Crew. You've got Trick or Treat. There is an or somewhere, but I don't think I cut that bit out. You've got Boo. And look at your cute little Ghosty. How cute is he? You've got little ghost. And then, oh, and your little bat as well. How cute is that? And then I just cut some more out in just ordinary paper. I think my little Ghosty is stuck there. There's another little Ghosty. There he is. And I just cut some more words out with just ordinary paper. But they are quite, I would recommend layering these up if you've got the patience. So you've got Hocus Pocus, and obviously you've got the word ghoul as well, which I've stuck on there, so I didn't cut it out. But there you go. So these are your words. So you've got more Halloween words. And then it's just keeping them all so they don't get damaged. Let me just try and put them all back in, because I don't want to lose them. These little ghosties and bats are so cute. So that's that die. And next I have this one. This one is an AliExpress one. So you got your little coffin. Oh, and then you've got this. And when I say to you, this was rather painstaking, I am not exaggerating. So you've got your little skeleton, but these little bones and his little leg bones and his little arm and hand bones, because you've got to piece it all together. Obviously, you've got to cut it all out separately. You've got a couple of little bats added in there as well. But once you've done that, and this one you can turn into a shaker, but you kind of put him in there and you have to add in his extra pieces. So I will show you. I liked how it turned out. So I turned it into a shaker, but let me just, so if you can see, I just subtly did him in sparkly white. So he sat in the background there. Let's just, I always find if I just tap the back. So you can see I had to piece in his arm and everything there. And I had to do the same on the other side. And then I had to do his leg. Let's just move all of the shakers. So he's only kind of got one leg. So you've got to add in another piece. So that's there. So I just stuck him on the back so you could just see him amongst the, let me just give this a tap. Problem is they get all stuck. And you can just see him in the background in his little shaker coffin. And these are the little bats. They're really cute. This bat isn't actually from this die. I found this bat on the floor as I was tidying up, and I'd layered him up as well. So I don't know what he was doing on the floor, and I thought, oh, you know what, let's find you a home. So I stuck him on there with those as well. But that's the thickness of it. There's the back, but quite a cute little coffin embellishment with your little skull in there. But you don't have to put the skull in if you don't want to. You could just use it as a ordinary shaker. But obviously I had to for video purposes. Would I do it again? I don't know is the honest answer. But let's put him back in there just in case. This is where your tweezers come in very handy. So that's that one. Right, and now we're on the last one. I do like this die. You can tell I do because I made a couple. So it's your trick-or-treat coffins. So you've got your 4 pieces. So you've got your, so this is your main body. This would be your, so you would cut the back and your acetate for that one. This one you would cut your edging for your foam and your top layering piece. And then once you've done that, you would cut these out and that sits inside. And that would sit just on top of your, actually, sorry, it would sit in that one. And that would sit just on top of your acetate. So let me show you. And you've also got a tab as well, which you can hang on, and you can hang some charms off or use it as a tag flip, which I thought was quite sweet. So these are the shakers. How lovely are they? So that one's your, I've got something, that's your trick one. So lots of shaker pieces in there. And there's your top tab. I love the detail around the edge. And the gold really makes it pop as well. And that's the back. And this is your treat one. And problem is, I think I put too many sequins in this one, and they won't move freely. Let me just try and see if I can. Yeah, no, I can't. But it doesn't matter. I know they're in there. So this is your treat one, and again, you've got your top bit. There's the back. But they are lovely. So you could use those as. You could do a tag flip. You could have your main one, your front one as your front cover, and you could have that one as the back cover. And then in between, you could just use flat embellishments. So where I've cut them out, and you could actually snip that piece off so you didn't have trick or treat in between. You know, cut that piece off and you've just got your coffin piece. But you could just then use it as a tag flip, or if you just wanted the plain piece without that, just wanted to use it as an embellishment, then obviously you don't need to add that piece either, so which you can do. So you've got, you know, various things you could do with it, but I really liked how these turned out. I love these dies, I really do. And I love the shakers, so I was really pleased with those. I really liked how they turned out. Okay, so that is the end of this episode of SNIP Happens. I hope you enjoyed that. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought, and whether you would like for me to actually carry on doing this type of thing, this type of content. I've still got some more Halloween metal dies to use and do, so I will carry on with that, but I don't want these videos to be long. I mean, we're at 45 minutes already, and you know, it's because I just don't stop talking. I know what my problem is, but never mind. That's the part and parcel and fun of it all anyway, isn't it? So yes, as I said, let me know what you think, and we'll carry on. So until next time, thank you for watching. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.